game against the Browns. Tebow finished with no catches and was only targeted on one play, but got 16 offensive snaps, which was good for second most on the team for tight ends. So, Shannon, what is your biggest takeaway from his performance?
It's a work in progress. It's going to take a lot of work, Skip, but I don't know if the Jags have the kind of time that it would devote. It's going to take years to get him up to speed to be NFL quality at that position. I believe had Tim Tebow, even he played quarterback, Skip, his first couple of years, he goes to the Jets and they want to transition him to tight end. I believe at that point in time, he could have like, you know what, okay, I'll try it. But at 34, being away from the game for as long as he had, he last played in the game in 2012. He tried to make the Eagles in 2015, Skip. I think it was the last go around, 2015, something like that.
I thought it was before that.
Might have been. So when you look at it like that, so it's almost 7-8 years he's been away from the game and haven't played a meaningful snap in a ball game since 2012. I just think it was a huge undertaking. It was a favor. And Darrell Bevel said it. He has an uphill climb, but nobody works as hard. But sometimes, Skip, you can work as hard, but if you don't know if you're working for and how to go about your task, it's just something it's hard to overcome. I don't think it's from lack of desire, lack of effort. Maybe you got to put forth a little bit more effort to block than what he gave on Saturday. But, Skip, I just think he's starting from so far behind. And he has so far to go. I just think you're asking an awful lot. He's talented, but he's not that talented. He's not so talented that he can just leave a sport for 7-8 years and come back and pick that sport up at another position. He's not that talented.
So my biggest takeaway on Saturday evening was there is no way Tim Tebow is going to make this team as a tight end. There's definitely a way under Urban Meyer, who won 2 national championships with Tim Tebow at Florida, that he could make this squad as some kind of designated touchdown scorer, an H-back, or a short yardage gadget playmaker, where you have a specific package of plays and maybe 6-7 times a game, in comes Tim Tebow, who will not be wearing number 85.
Gardner Minshew got 15. He going to be there.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. We'll see about that. I think Tim Tebow's going to wind up.
You trying to get the man up out of there so Tebow can get 15?
I think Tebow will be trotting into games wearing 15.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I'm not. I'm not ashamed at all. What was the shame the other night was that Tebow, a guy who did win 2 national championships and a Heisman Trophy at Florida, who did go first round of the draft. I know he's late first round, but he was 25th overall pick. Who did take over a 1-4 Broncos team and lead it to a division title in the AFC West and beat Pittsburgh in a home playoff game with a touchdown pass in overtime.
He did
all of the above. And at 34, he got thrown into a completely meaningless preseason game, game number 1.
Skip, he chose that.
I got it. But you want to talk about having to swallow some pride and have some humility and show your teammates, I'm willing to do this.
He could have did that. He could have did that at 26.
Okay, I got it. But he is 34 now. And it took until now for Urban Meyer to get the Jacksonville job in Tim Tebow's hometown. It's meant to be. And they are neighbors. And so they said, hey, why not? We're going to have to go through quite a process here, but we're going to have to pull one over on the league because we're going to have to try to show you as a tight end. You're going to have the guts, the audacity, whatever you want to call it, to go out there and maybe embarrass yourself occasionally, as you think that he did on his 2 quote-unquote blocks.
Oh, that what you call them?
Catch no balls, get 1 target. I don't know what was happening in the game, but not be featured as a target tight end. And show your teammates that you're willing to do this when you did the exact same thing with the sport of baseball. Because remember, he was 30 years of age and hadn't played since his junior year of high school. And he says, I'm going to go try to make it in professional baseball as a minor league player. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start in the Arizona Fall League, and I'm going to try to work my way up the Class A ladder to AA and to AAA. And he did. He got all the way to AAA before this opportunity presented itself.
And then it presented itself. He called Urban. Urban ain't called him. Stop doing that.
Knows? You know, they were having dinner one night, and one thing led to another, and it's like, how about what if? Oh, yeah.
How about no? How about no? No.
Urban Meyer knows better than anybody what a competitor Tim Tebow is with a football in his hand in a big game-making, breaking situation.
Skip.
He can score it. He can make plays that win football games because, as I said back in 2011 on the other network, all he does is win.
Skip, I got to tell you this. They cut about 1,000 to 1,200 guys every year.
Yep.
That's so competitive that they've been competitive their whole life playing that position. So this is not unique to him. You're asking him to do something. First of all, he robbed a tight end, a guy that played the position probably in high school and in college, of an opportunity.
I think they looked at it as you protected me from having to go out there and sacrifice my body just to get us through game number 1 of the preseason.
Who?
That he was like fodder. He was like camp fodder on Saturday night.
That's what, Skip, that's what happens when you're not a high draft pick, or you're trying to make the squad, or you've been on a couple of different squads. That's what happens. Guess what? Shannon Sharp was in that very situation where he was playing in the fourth quarter in the preseason games.
Because you were a seventh round pick.
Choice. But Skip, I also special teams. Skip, I hadn't played no special teams. I was a receiver. I was an All-American receiver, and they was like, can you put me out there? They said, what can you do? I was like, I don't know. Put me out there. Can you play gunner? Well, tell me what I got to do. Well, your job, they're going to put 2 guys in front of you, and you got to beat both of those guys and get down there, and when the guy to catch the ball, you tackle him.
Did you tackle him?
Yeah.
Did you?
I was the gunner.
I don't know.
I was a gunner. Second on the team in tackles. My second year, I led the special teams in tackles.
You did?
Yeah. I was on punt return, kick return.
You wouldn't block, but you would tackle. I don't know.
First of all, Skip, I started off as a wide receiver. You imagine a guy trying to wham the nose guard at 215, 212. That's an unfair advantage. So, but what I decided, Skip, here's the thing. Am I going to be more of an asset in the receiving game than a liability in the run game?
Okay.
Now, everybody keeps saying, well, Shannon, you couldn't block. I played 14 seasons. In 10 of those seasons, a guy gained at least 1,000 yards. One season, a guy gained 2,000. But I was neither here nor there. So I did my part.
Okay. I'm going to say this one more time. This is a grand plan by Urban and Tim Tebow. It's a masterclass in subterfuge. It's sleight of hand. It's misdirection. They're misleading you into thinking, he can't be a tight end. I'm a Hall of Fame tight end, and I know how to play tight end, and I know that guy can't play tight end.
He can't.
Okay, I got it. That's not what he's going to do. They're going to reveal next to nothing. I told you earlier in the show, I will be very curious to see if they run any of the Tebow package in game number 2, which will be the big dress rehearsal.
But is he going to play special teams, Skip?
Apparently not, because he had 16 snaps and no special teams. I just don't think Urban would think that's...
But he's competitive.
He would consider that beneath Tim's dignity.
Whoa. No. This football, you try to make a team. You got no dignity.
First-round pick.
That was many years ago.
Heisman Trophy winner. 2 national championship rings.
Skip, I've seen a lot of those guys.
Won the AFC West. Won a playoff game. Beat Ben Roethlisberger in a playoff game.
I've seen Heisman Trophy winners, Buckets Award winners, Lombardi winners get cut. They cut those guys all the time. You say he's competitive. There's no better way to compete than special teams.
I do believe he's capable of playing special teams.
Man can't play no...
Why not? You don't think he likes to hit people? That's what he does. He likes to hit people.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Did you just see that block?
I did. That's technique, though. That's not desire.
But Skip, here's the thing about special teams. First of all, you got to sprint back. Let's just say we put him on kickoff. Skip, you got to sprint back, get back there, and the guy's running full speed, and he's putting moves on you.
Okay.
He don't strike me as a guy that can move his feet.
Okay. How about punt coverage? You don't think he could do that?
He ain't going to tackle nobody.
Yes, he is.
Who?
He's as physical a runner as I've ever seen.
Skip, running the football and tackling somebody with the football is different.
It's part and parcel of your makeup, your desire level. You don't think Tim Tebow likes to run into people?
No.
That's what he does.
No, he don't like to tackle people.
He likes to run over people, run through people.
But now the shoes be on the other foot. They're going to try to run over you.
Okay, one last time, we got to look at the quote-unquote block that just tore up the internet the other night because, to me, You think this was a reason to cut Tim Tebow, and I say he got the job done because the guy who was supposed to block number 59, he crashes down the line completely out of control, and Tim's like, what am I supposed to do? So he gives him a little chip, and his runner gets 6 yards. Is that not an effective play? Did he not do his job on that play? He did do his job. How do you block a guy who's running away from you down the line? You don't.
You wash him. It's always
well, he washed him. He did it. He got it done. Was the guy in the play? Did the guy make the play? Maybe one time this coming Saturday.
I need you as my position coach.
Okay.
I'd have got me a lot better grades than what I actually, what BP gave me.
Okay,
man.
but I need to see just one time that he gets to face up with a defensive end.
No, Skip, he can't do it. No.
Well, why not? You don't think he's got the guts to do it? You don't think he's got the physicality?
That's not his makeup, and he doesn't have the technique.
Do you remember how physical a runner he was? He was almost too physical. He can make you miss a little bit, but man, he would just run through people.
Skip.
You know, they said by the time he got to the New England playoff game in 2011, he was just beat all to hell. They said he could barely walk after the game because he spent the whole year running over people.
Skip. If Tim Tebow lines up at the tight end position in an actual game, the defensive end going to be doing this.
Okay, maybe, but it's not because Tim Tebow doesn't want to block him.
Skip,
you think he's afraid?
Skip, that's a whole different mindset.
You're accusing Tim Tebow of being weak, being fragile, being less than physical.
Skip,
right?
he's never done this before. It took some courage. I played tight end in high school. I played tight end my sophomore year in college, so I was familiar with the position. But when you going up against guys that's all they've done was play defensive end or play linebacker, they understood. It took me a while to get over the fact because and Dan would see I was getting frustrated because they were just ragdolling me. They were just shedding me.
Okay, but is that technique or